et bienvenue à la restitution de l'atelier de théâtre en anglais. Moi, je suis Madeleine Smith et avec Ada GILANI, nous sommes les intervenantes de l'atelier. Avant de commencer, on aimerait bien remercier quelques personnes sans qui cette pièce n'aurait pas été possible. Donc d'abord, le département d'anglais pour leur soutien et notamment Vanina Jobert. Et le doyen, Monsieur Alessandro Martini et Monsieur Benoît Auclair. Je souhaite remercier l'équipe PAVN, la aide, formidable, merci beaucoup. Ils ont fait un grand travail ce matin et c'est grâce à eux qu'on aura la captation à la fin. Et un très grand merci au Point Culture et notamment à Juliette Randon qui a été avec nous toute l'année et qui s'est battue pour cette pièce, pour qu'on puisse jouer. Donc maintenant, j'invite notre metteuse en scène, Déa, qui va vous présenter la pièce en quelques mots. Et allez, on va commencer.
Merci beaucoup. Je tiens à remercier Madeleine est là, puisqu'on est là. Et du coup, chers tous, j'espère que cet email vous trouve en bonne santé. Donc, la pièce que vous allez voir s'appelle Rope. Elle a été écrite par Patrick Hamilton en 1929 et c'est une pièce en 3 actes. Donc, accrochez. Comment ça se passe? Ça se passe dans ce salon-là, qui est si beau, que nous avons décoré nous-mêmes. Et il s'agit de Brandon et Gonello, qui ont, comme ça, un vendredi après-midi, tué un ami de l'école. Pourquoi ils l'ont fait? Je vous laisse découvrir. Et donc, qu'est-ce qu'ils vont faire? Ils vont... Désolée, il faut que je fasse en français, mais là, je suis en train de trembler un peu. Ils vont le mettre dans ce coffre, et puis inviter des amis pour manger au-dessus de ce coffre-là. Vous allez me dire, mais c'est macabre. Ben oui. Donc voilà, il y a plein de suspense. C'est un peu un murder mystery à l'envers. Vous le savez, mais eux ne le savent pas. Et donc voilà, vous allez le découvrir en espérant que vous allez aimer. Et merci beaucoup d'être venus.
All right. Where's the light? Steady, Grano. Where's the light? Steady, Grano. Feeling yourself, Grano? Feeling yourself again, Grano? It's about time you pulled yourself together. Someone will be here in 15 minutes.
Give me some matches.
Matches? Here you are. Yes, it's really about time you put yourself together. You fully understand, Brandon, what we have done. Do I understand what I have done? I know quite well what I have done. I have done murder. I have committed murder. Passionless, motiveless, clueless murder.
Yes.
Bloodless and noiseless murder.
Yes.
An immaculate murder.
Yes.
I have killed for the sake of danger, for the sake of killing. And I am alive. Wonderfully and truly alive. This is what I have done. What's the matter? Are you getting superstitious?
No, I'm not superstitious.
Then may I put on the light?
You mayn't. Brandon,
Yes.
you remember when Ronald came in?
What do you mean when Ronald came in?
When Ronald came in here? When he came in from the car? You were standing at the door.
What of it?
Did you see anyone standing there? Up the street about 70 yards?
What do you mean by someone?
Or someone? Anyone? Did you think of that, Brandon?
Yes, I did.
In the room, you know. Do you think we'll get away with it?
When, tonight?
Yes.
Are you suggesting that some psychic force emanating from that chest there is going to advise Sir Johnson Kentley that his son and heir is contained therein? My dear Grano, if you're feeling in any way insecure, perhaps I shall give you a cool narration of our transaction. Let me please give you, when we went today at by the street, and we met Ronald. Well,
Listen,
listen, I tell you.
it's alright. I thought it was Sabo.
Sabo, in the first place, will not be here until 5 to 9 minutes, as Sabo is seldom punctual. Sabo, in the second place, has been deprived by a wily master of his key. He will therefore ring. Let me give you a brief narration of our transaction. This afternoon, at 2 o'clock, young Ronald Kentley, our fellow undergraduate, left his father's house with the object of visiting the Coliseum musical. He did so. After the performance, he was met in the street by your good self, and he was invited to this house. He was then given tea, and at 6:45 precisely, he was done to death by strangulation and rope. He was subsequently deposited in that chest. Tonight, at 9 o'clock, his father, young Ronald Kentley, Sir Johnson Kentley, of course you might know him, and 3 well-chosen of ours are coming here for regalement. They will small talk and they will depart. At 11 o'clock, we will leave the party and we'll go to Oxford by car, and that will be the end of all this.
This party isn't asleep, is it, Brandon?
My dear Grano, have we not already agreed that the beauty and the piquancy of the evening reside in the party itself? I was saying, this evening at 11 o'clock, we will leave by car to Oxford and carry our fellow undergraduate. Our fellow undergraduate will not be heard of again. Our fellow undergraduate will not be murdered. He would be missing. That's the entire story and the perfection of criminality. That's the entire story of the perfect crime. I'm quite lucid, I'm not?
Yes.
You see, Grano, the party, so far from being our vulnerable point, it is the apex, as it were. The consummation of our feat. consider its ingredients. There will be first and foremost Sir Johnston Kentley, the father of the occupant of that chest. It is he, as the father, who gives the entire macabre quality of the evening. And then, of course, we have procured his wife, but she, being an invalid, is unobtainable. We have then, of course, asked for her sister, Mrs. Debenham. Hello? 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 What? This is Mayfair X143. What? What? Put out the light! Put out the light, I tell you! Steady, Grano. Hello? Hello? Will you put that down? You're telling London that you're afraid. Come and sit down. Oh, go on. There will be then Kenneth Raglan and Leila Arden. They have been asked for their youth, innocence, and good spirits alone. Also, in Raglan, who went in the same school and is at the same university of ourselves, we have about the most perfect specimen of ordinary humanity obtainable, and therefore a suitable witness for this so extraordinary scene. An intellectual humanity is represented there. We have then Leila Arden, his female counterpart. The same things applies to her. Now in Rupert, when we come on to Rupert, we have a very intriguing proposition. You see, Rupert is about the one man alive who might have seen this thing from our angle, the artistic one. Remember, we even considered inviting him to join our danger, but we eventually turned the notion down. Not necessarily because it would have been too much for him to swallow it intellectually, but simply because he would not have had the nerves. You see, Rupert is a damn brilliant poet, but he is a little too fastidious. He could have invented and admired, but he could not have acted. He is therefore in the same blessedness ignorance as the rest. Nevertheless, his intellect is representative and value at that. Grano? Grano? Yes. What's the time? Two. Oh. Support will be here in 5 minutes. I know. Then, may I put on the light? Must you? Can't you go on talking? I'm afraid I cannot. Oh, go on. Put it on. I'm better now. God, you fool! Didn't I told you to check up in there? The boys' Coliseum ticket. What? It was on the floor. We could hang on that. What in God's name he got there, I don't know. But, my dear Brandon, you are so much to blame as myself. This has nothing to do with it. You are supposed to see what I don't see. For God's sake, I don't know how it got there. Oh my God, it's ringing! Domination, it's Sabo! Now sit down and be quiet. I'll go and get him.
sir?
Yes, in here.
Would you like evening paper?
Thank you very much, Sabo.
I
Thank
thought
you.
you might like to
Yes, thank you. Sorry for my little outburst, Breno, but it rather upset me.
Not at all. You're quite correct. I should have seen it. How I got there, I don't know.
Oh, neither do I. What's the time, Sabo? What's the time, please?
About 5 to.
Oh, then we may expect our first guest, Breno.
Yes.
The table, sir?
Yes, lay there with you. The tables are covered with books.
But I can bring it from upstairs.
No, Sabo, lay there with you.
No, it's no problem to bring it from upstairs.
Nevertheless, Sabo, lay there.
Very good.
Oh, rain again.
Yes, it's raining a lot.
Raglan. Well, forgive me a moment. I'm going to usher him in.
Hello.
Hello, Raglan, old friend. Come right in. You know Breno, don't you?
Oh, yes, rather.
Quite a long time since we met, though.
Well, I'm terribly sorry. I'm dressed.
My fault entirely. I should have explained. We are going to Oxford tonight.
Oh, no, are you?
Yes. Now, please sit down and tell me what you would like to have. I can do a very nice gin in French, and gin in Italian, and a very nice gin in it.
I should like a gin in it.
Right you are. Yes, so we're leaving tonight for Oxford at Let Us Hope Moonlight by Autumn Vine. And yes, and of course, all this place is simply covered with books.
Covered with books?
Books aren't really in line, are they, Kenneth?
Well, no, not really. Only for P.J. Woodhouse.
Oh, are you good at P.J. Woodhouse?
Well, yes. Why, are you?
Yes, rather.
Shouldn't have thought you would have been.
Oh, rather.
Have you heard of an old uncle of mine, Gary Wickham?
Oh, yes, rather.
Well, he has died lately.
Oh, no, has he?
Yes, it's his library that he has very kindly and unexpectedly bestowed upon me.
Good Lord.
To the unspeakable mortification of Sir Johnson Kentley.
Sir Johnston Kentley, he's quite a famous collector, isn't he?
Yes, he's coming here tonight.
God, he is?
Yes.
It is the same man, is it? He lives in Grosvenor Square and has a son.
Yes, that's quite right, Kenneth. He lives in Grosvenor Square and has a son. He also ran into your sister. She's coming here too.
Really? Oh, tell me, Sir Johnston's son, isn't that Ronald Kentley, the lad who's so frightfully good at sports?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, he's the living image of yourself. Don't you think so, Grano?
Yes, he is like.
He? In what way?
Oh, same age, same height, same color, same sweet and refreshing innocence.
Oh, shut up, Brendan. Not an athlete, anyway.
No, but you are as much as alive. In fact, more so.
Am I? Well, then you're having Sir Johnston here just sort of to make him grind his teeth with envy about the books, then.
Not at all. Well, I'm going to let him have exactly what he wants, provided that I don't want it. But if I am telling you all of this, Kenneth, it's just to excuse the horrible mess that we are in. And of course, you might have noticed that we are going to have our meal of a chess.
Yes, I thought it looked rather weird.
Good Lord, Kenneth, you're getting positively fat.
Am I?
Oof, nothing like the boy who used to fight for me at school.
That was a long while ago.
Doesn't seem very long to be.
Well, of course, I used to think you were an absolute hero in those days, Brendan.
As a matter of fact, I was way more popular amongst the juniors.
It was I who was the unpopular one.
Oh, very unpopular, Breno.
Yes, I remember. I used to loathe you in those days.
There you are.
Why did you loathe him?
Oh, I don't know. Those games were the only thing that really counted in those days. But I'm sure it was most unreasonable.
Oh, it was, I assure you. I'm very harmless.
Ah, that must be Rupert. Do you know Rupert Cadell? Have you ever met him?
No, I can't say that I have.
Yes, I think he was before your line. Forgive me a moment. I must go and usher him in. Ah, the ravishing Leila. Come right in, my dear. You know Granner, don't you?
Hello.
So, Miss Leila, then this is Kenneth Raglan.
Hello.
Hello.
Now, my dear, what would you like to have for a drink? Kenneth having a gin in it.
Oh, out the door one. And how are you getting on?
Very well, thanks. And how are you?
I'm alright, thank you. Of course, I simply know that I've seen you somewhere before.
Really?
You're not a Printemps expert, are you?
Oh, no, I just go there occasionally, that's all.
How weird, because I could simply swear that I've seen you somewhere before.
Really? I'll eat.
Previous incarnation, I guess. Well, you must forgive me, Leila. Kenneth will explain. For all this mess. And of course you might know that I have come into a library.
Come into a library, my dear. My dear, how weird.
Well, yes, but I hope you're not going to think that we're not going to have anything to eat because all the servants are away and we are very humble.
I know you told me that. And I had a simply gluttonous high tea. Gorge, my dear.
Oh, my dear, I really wouldn't have asked you. Only this is the last time you see each other because we are going tonight.
You are?
Yes, we are going to Oxford.
Well, of course, I'm feeling absolutely ghastly coming dressed like this.
Why, I've done just the same. Of course you must admit, my dear, this is a most mysterious and weird meal.
Why are you mysterious and weird?
Oh, I don't know. Just mysterious and weird. Don't you think it's mysterious and weird? Such a queer time to begin with.
Oh, that must be Sir Johnston Kentley. I'll be back in a moment. Forgive me.
How's the newcomer?
The newcomer, Leila, is the reverse Sir Johnston Kentley who has come here to look at books.
My dear.
Unless it's his Rupert, which it may be, of course.
Which, of course, can never be done. Ah, how do you do, Granillo? How are you getting on? You know my sister, don't you? She's visiting from the north.
Oh, delighted to have you, Mrs. Debenham.
Delighted to come, dear. I've been in London 2 weeks and this is only my second party. I suppose it is only fair. Oh, Ronald!
Oh, no, you're mistaken. Let me introduce you all. Mrs. Debenham and Sir Johnston Kentley, this is Leila Arden.
How do you do?
How do you do?
And this is Kenneth Raglan.
How do you do? How do you do?
Forgive me, Mr. Raglan.
Now, Sir Johnson, here is an armchair which is in your line. And you might have noticed that we are going to have our meal off the chairs because all the tables are covered with books.
Oh, that's not a cassone, is it?
Oh no, it's a reproduction, but it's a very good piece. I got it in Italy. Now, my dear, what would you like to have for a drink?
Oh, nothing, my boy.
And you, Mrs. Debenham, would you like to have a glass of champagne?
I adore one. Daddy used to have one every morning at 11. Of course, Johnstone doesn't like it.
These books I'm going to see. Where are they, Brandon?
Oh, the books. They are in the other room, the living room. I laid them up there. There is more space in here.
I shall be interested to see them. Most interested. I seem to remember that Wickham had a remarkable little lot of Shakespeareana.
Oh yes, but they were sold before he died. There is a run of the quarters, though, and a lot of Buckingham stuff. I'm told that they are very good.
Ah, Bacon, my boy. That's a special favourite of mine.
Of course, all this is too technical and peculiar.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
But I guess Mrs. Debenham has learned to put up with this sort of things.
Yes, Johnstone is forever cataloguing his library.
Of course, I'm too Philistine for words. But do go on, what about Bacon?
I think we'd better try and restrain ourselves, my boy.
Oh no, do go on, you must tell us about Bacon. Isn't he the person who dashes round being Shakespeare or something like that?
Ah, Rupert. Here come Rupert. The last as usual. Let me introduce you all. Mr. Cadell, this is Mrs. Debenham.
How do you do?
Delighted.
Mr. Cadell, Miss Leila Arden.
How do you do?
How do you do?
This is Sir Johnson Kentley.
How do you do, sir?
How do you do?
And of course, this is Kenneth Raglan.
How do you do?
Good, I came dressed. See, I telephoned an inquiry, but I could not obtain any answer.
Now contain yourself, Rupert, and sit down.
What in heaven?
Well, it's a chest. We're going to have our meal of a chest.
Are we?
Yes. All the tables are covered with books, and it's a very nice chest.
Are we
Yes.
really gonna have a meal off a chest?
Haven't you heard? The entire place is covered with library.
Really? Oh!
Now, my dear, would you like to have a cocktail?
No, thank you. Have had 4 already.
4?
Yes. Why? Aren't I carrying my drink?
No, you're carrying it all right. It's just rather a mean advantage, that's all.
Now, I can give you a very nice gin in it. Are you sure you don't want a drink?
I'll have one. Just one, Brandon. So when do we begin to have our meal off a chest?
Oh,
I'm personally rather peckish.
we are starting right away. Look at here, you people. You have a lot of plates and knives, a lot of sandwiches, pâté, caviar, salmon and cucumber and whatnot. All you have to do is rally around and get what you want.
Of course, I'm only an amateur astrologer. I do my best. Now, is it you who plays the piano?
Yes, that's right.
I suppose you want to know if your concert will be a success?
Yes, I do.
May I see your hands?
Here.
You don't remember the hour of your birth by any chance?
No.
Good fingers. Strong and artistic. These hands could bring you great fame.
Are you the great Cadell, then?
The great Cadelson. What? Have you heard anything about me?
Oh, I've read your poems, that's all. Or at least a lot of them.
Dear me, I hope you're not confusing me with the other Cadell, sir.
No, I don't think so. You write poems, don't you?
I am told so, sir. But then so does the other Cadell. Devastating creature who spells it with 2 Ds.
No, there's no confusion here.
I never knew you could spell Cadell with 2 Ds.
Same here.
Same here, really. I knew Cadell once and she used to spell it with only 1 D. Louisa Cadell. A horrible old hag she was, too. I think she used to live in Bayswater.
Dear me, the young man is alluding to my aunt.
I'm so sorry. Have I dropped a brick?
No, I've said a mouthful. Well, can I have another sandwich? You'd better give me my drink, please, Brenton.
Sure.
I say, must we have a meal off a chest?
Yes, why not? Is Lady Cantley getting any better, sir?
No, I'm afraid not. I'm afraid she's still in bed.
Oh, and how is Ronald getting on?
Ronald, he's getting on all right. He's merely idling, of course, now, like you two.
Does he like it or does he want to get back?
Oh, no, he doesn't want to get back. He has a great time.
How's Ronald?
Ronald, he's my son and heir, 20 years of age.
I know Ronald, yes. He was in the papers the other day for winning the high jump at the varsity sports.
That's right.
Yes, there was a picture of me next door to it.
Oh, was there?
Yes, there was. Not though, winning the high jump. Yes, quite an old friend.
A sprightly lad is Ronald.
Brendan says he's like me. Is that true, sir?
Yes, very like.
Why, yes. He is rather like you when you come to think of it.
I have a double, apparently.
My dear, how excruciating.
Tell me, sir, in what way is he like me?
No, I don't know. Just in, general youthfulness.
And innocence and freshness.
Shut up, Brendan.
Oh, he's so scared they won't think him a man.
Yeah, that's like Ronald too. I'm afraid they won't feel like that for long, though. Of course, my boy's the most infantile thing in the world. I honestly believe his only passion in holiday times is the movies. When I saw him at lunch, he was just rushing off to the Colosseum.
The Coliseum is in the theatre. I thought it was a musical. Now that I think, I've never been there in my life. Never been to the Coliseum?
Why? Should he have been to the Colosseum?
I thought everybody had been. Well, I haven't.
Neither have I. Is that the place in the Haymarket?
Not dare, you're mixing it up with the Capitol. What abysmal ignorance!
You'd have been a sad dog as an ancient Roman, eh, Grinello?
Yes, he would. Indeed, in the days of the Caesars, the result of confusing the Capitol with the Colosseum would have been, I should imagine, almost fatal. Certainly, it would have been taken up.
What was the Capitol then? Wasn't it where they all gossip and held forth?
The Capitol, I am told, was the Roman temple to Jupiter on the Tarpeian Hill.
Ah, my dear, weren't they sweet?
Wherein exactly were the ancient Romans sweet?
My dear, such awful fools going in for Jupiter and temples and all that. Such a terrible lot of bother about nothing.
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
Well,
To
anyway.
return to the 20th century for just one moment. You mean to tell me, Granillo, that you have never been to the Colosseum?
No. Of course I haven't. Never. What? Why?
Is that so?
Yes,
Dear
why?
dear. You mean to say you can stand here and puff out your chest and tell me, Granillo, that you have never been to the Colosseum?
Yes. Why? Why should you think that I had?
Maybe the hawk-like sharpness of my vision.
Why? Is it a crime never to have been to the Colosseum?
No, I don't expect you to cry.
If that is the case, then I am afraid I myself am guilty.
Oh no, Sir Johnston. I was just expecting that Granillo, by the mere look of him, standing here in his beautiful grey suit, was not the sort of person who had never been to the Colosseum.
Well, I haven't.
Young Ronald Cantley has been to the Colosseum, hasn't he?
That's right.
You know, I'm coming to the conclusion that there is some ulterior motive to this chest picnic.
What do you mean, ulterior motive?
I mean that it's made purely and simply to make poor Rupert spill things over his trousers.
Oh,
I do agree.
I suspect much worse than that. I think they've committed murder, and it's simply chock full of rotting bones. It's just the thing for rotting bones, isn't it?
Oh,
Yes, it is,
Leila.
isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Leila, I will never let you see the inside of that chest for worlds.
I'm sure you wouldn't. And it's alright to try and bluff me out, and pretend you're willing to
But
let me...
Leila, that's exactly what I said. I will never let you see the inside of it.
I have my suspicions.
But surely your murderer, having chopped up and concealed his victim in a chest, wouldn't ask all his friends round to come and, well, eat off it.
Not unless he was a very stupid and very conceited murderer.
Very stupid and very conceited.
Which, of course, he might be.
In fact, that's exactly what all criminals are.
No, I don't think so.
Talking of murderers, have you seen that new thing on at the new gallery?
Oh yes, I saw that. Isn't it good?
Yes, isn't it good? I didn't like her much though, that new woman. I didn't think she was much good. Definitely Scorpio.
No, she wasn't much good, but I liked her clothes.
Simply divine.
That other film was good though, wasn't it?
Yes, it was good, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
The Lord looked down upon us. We have fallen amongst fans.
Of course, the man I've got a passion for is William Powell.
Is he good?
My dear, absolutely marvellous.
Yes, absolutely. Very strong and silent, towards the ball. Very obstinate.
Oh, really?
In fact, I think I like him better than John Gilbert now.
John Gilbert who?
Do you like John Gilbert?
Oh, rather. I think he's terribly good.
Well, yes, he is good. Not as good as Ronald Colman, though.
Oh, don't you think so? Did you see him in the old version of The Merry Widow?
Yes, he was good in that.
But of course he had a mustache in that, didn't he?
Oh, I expect that improved him, didn't it?
But then John Gilbert always had a moustache, didn't he?
No, I've seen him in thousands of ones without it. All the early ones.
The only ones.
By the way, did you see that thing with Robert Montgomery and John Crawford? I've forgotten what it was called. The Wonderful Something or something. It was all sort of,
I, for one, at the moment of speaking, do not.
I know what you mean. The wonderful... Oh, God, I can't remember. But it was jolly good, wasn't it? What do you think of her, John Crawford?
Oh, I don't know. Like of these,
Well, I think she's rather good.
I didn't know that you are a fan like this, Leila. I simply abhor the thing myself.
What, a moral ground?
Oh, not at all. They just make me go to sleep. And all these places are always stuffy with a lot of people. Anyway, who says books?
Oh, I.
Yes, that's a very good idea.
And I have a gramophone for the young ones, if they care to make use of it.
But I thought you said the room was covered with books.
No, there is room to dance.
Oh, hello, you've got wireless, I see.
Yes, let's see what's on. They won't be dancing yet.
Oh no, not till 11.
Hello? It's not working.
Take it off then.
Right. Say just like Kathy. And Mrs. Debenham, you dance, don't you?
Oh, I really couldn't say. It's been such an awfully long time.
Come the rest of you. I have a dozen of records in here.
Well,
Well, Rupert,
you look rather fagged out.
do I? I don't feel it.
I don't know, you seem rather touchy.
Oh, yes. I'm a bit liverish. I've been sleeping most of the afternoon and that always put me up for the rest of the day.
That's what I do.
Reading anything lately?
Yes, a little thing about doves, also a little thing about rain. Both are good. Very good, in fact. Then of course I'm getting ahead with the big work.
That going well?
Yes, very. Indeed, it promises to be not only the best thing I have ever written, but also the best thing I have imagined. This is rather nice, isn't it?
Oh.
So you and Brendan leave tonight for Oxford.
Yes, that's right.
What time are you leaving?
Oh, we're aiming to start about 10:30.
Arriving there about when?
About 3. Why?
Oh, peculiar form of enjoyment, Grano. But then that's like you.
Why? Lovely moonlit night.
No, it's not. It's raining already.
No, it's not.
It is. Listen.
Yes, it is. Coming down hard, isn't it?
What do we have here? Conrad. Oh. GILANI. Uh-huh. Oh, the gramophone has started again.
Hello? You wanted? Hello? Coming? Coming along?
Oh, I'm alright. Good evening, Sabo.
Good evening, sir.
How are you getting on?
Very well. Thank you, sir.
It's definitely going to be a dirty night.
Yes, sir. It's settled now.
I expect Mr. Brendan will still be going.
Pardon?
I expect Mr. Brendan will still be going, though, to Oxford.
Hello. What's all about, Mr. Brandon?
Oh, Brendan, we were just chatting, Sabo and I.
Oh, alright, that's fine. I'll do that.
Have you any idea of the date, Sabo?
Date? It's the 16th.
The 16th?
The 17th. The 17th, pardon, sir. It's the 17th.
Yes, the 17th, I thought so. Have you been getting into trouble lately, Sabo?
Trouble?
Yes, trouble.
Trouble.
The word I employed, Sabo, uncanny as it may seem, was trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Why? You have a selection.
Yeah. Life is full of trouble.
Yes, she certainly is. Indeed, life is almost unintermittently troublesome. I was wondering, though, whether you had been getting into trouble with your employers.
Me, sir? No, sir. What should make you think so?
Well, I telephoned this house at 7:45. At 8:45 precisely, and I heard the most hysterical noises over the wire.
Hysterical noises?
Yes, hysterical, Sabo, noises. Somebody had evidently lost their nerve. I was wondering whether you were the cause of it.
Me, sir? No. I was not here till 5 to 9.
Then are you the one that frequents the Coliseum, Sabo?
Yes, sir.
I said, are you the one that frequents the Colosseum, Sabo?
Oh, sir, pardon, sir, I did not hear. No, sir, not at all.
The musical, right?
The musical?
Yes.
No, sir.
You have never been there?
No. I've been there many years ago.
Oh. Not lately?
Oh. No, sir.
Okay. Then is it Mr. Granillo who frequents the Colosseum?
Mr. Granillo?
Or is it Mr. Brandon who frequents the place?
Mr. Brandon.
Mr. Brandon again and again. What's all about Mr. Brandon? Again.
Brandon! This time I was asking the good Sabo whether Mr. Brandon will still travel to Oxford in all this rain.
Oh.
Didn't I, Sabo?
Again. Well, I
Yes,
hope he
sir.
told you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I hope he told you that we are. What's a rain? A little rain anyway. Why don't you come and join us again? Come on. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Sabo, you can lay it down. When you finish, you can be off.
Very good, sir.
Why don't you come along?
I am reading currently.
What are you reading? Oh, The Rover. Come along again.
In a minute, maybe. Thank you,
Right.
Brandon. That Sabo was what we call a white one.
A white one, sir?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, a white one, sir.
I left my things on the table. Maybe you could take it too.
Very good.
Just right there. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sabo.
Hello? Sabo's gone.
Oh yes, Sabo gone.
Oh,
Brandon,
yes.
I have just thought of something rather queer.
Something queer.
Yes.
What's
Let's all talking tonight about rotten bones in chests.
that?
There's going to be an intermission of 5 minutes. So if you want snacks or other human things, you are encouraged to go get them now.
Talk about protein ball in his chest, Rupert?
Yes.
What about them?
Do you remember when you were an infant, Brandon?
Hmm.
How you used to tell me stories around the fire?
Yes, rather. I remember.
Do you remember your chess complex, Brandon?
My chess complex.
Yes. Whatever the story was, piratical, detective, murder, adventure or ghost, it always contained a marvelous denouement with a bloody chest containing corpses. You had a perfect mania for it, don't you remember?
Yes. I've forgotten that.
Why should you have remembered it?
Well, what about them?
Well, nothing. I just found this queer, a soul talking tonight about rotten bones in the chest. It just came back to me, that's all.
Yeah, how queer, exactly?
Oh, nothing, just queer, you know? You were a morbid child.
Oh. Right. Would you like to have some of this whiskey? It's a very good one.
Yes, please.
Tell me when.
Well, no, a little more. When?
Right.
And thank you.
Yes. Happy days.
How is the old man getting on with his books?
Well, as far as I understand, he's going to take the entire library with him. I'm simply saying goodbye to it.
I didn't know you were a book collector.
Well, I have been one for about a year.
What exactly is your line?
I have some theories about the Victorians and, everything comes round in time.
For example?
For example, Matthew Arnold or Carlyle, people of that sort.
Matthew Arnold, perhaps.
Well, I don't know, he got guts anyway.
Yes, but Carlyle doesn't have any guts.
He has also a right and angry righteousness that you don't get nowadays.
Oh, thank God.
Anyway, I must go in function. Why don't you come in?
This way?
Yes.
I like that one. I see, what's the time?
Oh,
Got to be home fairly early tonight.
plenty of time, my
Okay.
friend. Come right in. Oh, now I have left my cigarette case behind. Go along in, Rupert. I must go and get them. I'll be back in a moment.
Nation!
What's the matter, man? What's the matter?
Oh God! Oh God! I thought it was him! I thought it was him! I thought it was Ronald!
Drink that! Be quick, man! Be quick!
Why were you sitting there? Why were you trying to frighten me?
I wasn't trying to frighten you. I was wondering what you were up to. Why do you want to sneak in like that? Hang you! You've upset me.
I wanted to make sure that everything was okay. I'm sorry. My nerve's going. I'm alright.
Give me that!
Alright. Give me some more of that. Oh.
I'm going to the other room. Drink that and be back when you can. And don't get drunk on that.
No.
What's the matter? Come on, put yourself together. Come on, you can stop it if you want to. Come on. Come on.
All right. You went down the wrong way. What are you back here for?
Oh, they want us all better than records. You had them last. I couldn't find them. Where are they? Are they here or upstairs?
Oh yes, they're upstairs in my room.
Where exactly?
They're right at the bottom of my trunk.
Which one? The green one?
Yes, but they'll be a hell of nuisance to get at. They're right at the bottom and it's locked. Must they have the Beethoven records?
Well, you go and tell them. Grano,
Yes?
you're right, aren't you?
Yes, quite.
Grano,
Yes?
shut the door.
Yes?
You better give me the ticket, and we get rid of it right away.
What ticket?
The boys' ticket.
What ticket?
Don't be there, Grano. The boys' Coliseum ticket. The boys' ticket.
What's Coliseum ticket?
Shh! Not so loud! Boys' Coliseum ticket. I gave it into your hand.
I haven't got the Coliseum ticket.
Grano!
Wait.
Grano!
I did
Pocket!
Give it to me.
Look again! Look again!
You didn't. I never
I
had it.
gave it into your hand.
You didn't. I never had it.
Give it into your hand.
See if you got it.
I haven't got it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it now? Where is it now? Where is it?
I put it into my waistcoat pocket.
You put it in your waistcoat pocket? You put it in your waistcoat pocket? Where is it now? Where is it now?
My dear Brendan, what have you lost?
My temper, Rupert. Sorry, Grano.
That's all right.
I hope I'm not interfering.
No, my fault entirely. You didn't know that Grano and I behave like that. And we have often outbursts like this, and it's always about trifles. Isn't it, Grano?
Yes.
Well, in that occasion, it was a matter of Beethoven records that Grano couldn't produce. I was just chiding him for his remissness. That's all. I guess the party has to go without its records.
Well, it's an ill wind that blows nobody any good. What a queer thing to quarrel about.
Well, but we do quarrel about queer things. Don't you think so, Grano?
We do.
I say, can I have some whiskey?
Grano?
Yes. Whiskey?
Yes, please. Can I have some soda?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you ever so much. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm in here on an errand.
Oh, an errand.
Yes. I want some rope.
Rope?
Rope!
Yes, why so excited? The young people in the other room, having exhausted the lyric possibilities of the gramophone, are now projecting their entire youthful elan and ingenuity into the composition of a parcel. They want something to do it up with.
A parcel?
Yes, Brendan, the old man's books. You'd better see what goes into it. I'm sure he's lifting all your best. Hello, here we are. Thought it was coming.
Damnation. It's coming down right.
Surely.
Blast! Where are the servants? Where are the servants?
My dear Brendan, sure you're not going in this?
Well, that's alright. We'll try and make it. And we have nowhere to sleep. All the beds have been dismantled.
But that needn't worry you. You can put up with me if you care. I have plenty of room.
Oh, my dear friend. That's all right. We'll try and make it.
Very well. Have it your own sweet way.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, did you hear that?
Uh-huh. We heard it all right. We are scared out of our wits.
I know. It's simply coming down in sheets. Surely you're not going to Oxford tonight.
Certainly we are.
But my dear, you can't. You'll be simply swamped up, my dear. Flooded, my dear.
I heard you want some string, Leila.
Oh, yes, so we do. We're going to make a parcel, my dear. Come on. We've got books. What are the books? Oh, here we are. And some paper. Have you got the paper?
Oh no, I've forgotten the paper.
Well, go and get it. Do quick.
Be right here.
Kenneth, while you're there, could you bring me also my cigarette case?
Right you are.
Thank you.
Can I see what's on?
Yes, certainly.
This, of course, is the time when I really enjoy the wireless.
Like the storm, I expect.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Sorry, Brendan. I've looked everywhere, but I couldn't find the cigarettes.
That's all right.
Well, now we want the string. Where's the string?
The string. Oh, it's in the other room. I can go and get it.
No, just tell me where it is and I'll get it.
Oh, it is in that big vast thing, you know?
Do you know the sort of big vast thing?
Yes. I know. I'll get it.
Isn't he sweet?
Yes, it is. Rather a lamb.
Yes. A decided duck.
Here we are. By the way, Sir Johnston wants to know whether he can browse in that sort of top shelf thing.
Yes, I know exactly what he means. I say, Grano, do and explain to the poor man. He must be getting into hopeless muddles. Do go on.
Just a little, I think.
I should say completely.
Oh, Grano's Blotto. I think it's this whiskey over there.
Hello, here we are again.
Oh, my hat!
Oh, I believe you're scared of storms, aren't you?
My dear, I am. I simply rush round in circles. It's hereditary, you know. You should see my mother.
What does she rush around in?
My dear, she doesn't. She simply hides herself in cupboards.
Really?
All in, my dear. In fact, if it comes on again, you'll probably all see me suddenly take a violent plunge into this chest.
Well, I should love to see that.
Head foremost, my dear. By the way, can you get into this chest, or is it locked?
Can we get into this chest, Brendan, or is it locked?
Yes. You can get into the room if you want to.
Oh, well, then I'm safe.
There's a padlock on that door.
Oh, my dear, you've forgotten. He's got his murdered man in here.
Oh, so he has. We've forgotten that, haven't we?
Well, you may have. I hadn't. I say, can I have another spot?
Oh, sure. He will forgive you. You too, Ragnar?
Well, I think I would, really.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what he's been committing. Murder. Oh, these.
Leila, you don't know how near the mark you are.
You are. Oh, don't I? I know exactly what's inside this chest.
But Leila, you already told us what is in it.
Have I? I think there's an old man. You picked him up selling papers in the street and you did him to death for the gold fillings in his teeth. You've a lust for gold, my dear.
Oh, I see. You've been following.
No. It is locked, isn't it? And why a padlock? What have you got in it?
But you have already told us. Again, Leila.
No, I honestly think you ought to let us have a look. Have you got the key?
Yes, it is in my waistcoat pocket.
Well, hand it over. Let's have a look inside.
Well, I'm hanged if I do so.
But why not, my dear? If you're really innocent, you can prove it, dear.
But, my dear, how many times do I have to tell you that my hands are red with the crime I have committed 3 years ago?
Well, if you won't... You won't... All the same, if I had strong men about me, they'd force it from you.
I'll be your strong man.
Will you? All right, go and be strong.
How do I do that?
Oh, that's up to you.
All right. Now, Mr. Brendan, hand it over or it will be the worse for you.
Said he, eyeing the other fearlessly.
Come and get it.
Really? Which pocket is it in?
Upright.
Mine right or your right?
Mine.
Go on, seize it.
I should live in 10 seconds, shall I?
That's
All right. 10 seconds.
1, 2, 3,
Won't you surrender?
No.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My dear, what will men not do for me? Slaughtering each other, of course.
Ow!
Mr. Raglan, you cannot on every occasion be strong. It is always possible to be silent. What is it doing to you?
I thought it bust my arm! I say, Brendan, you do not know your own strength, you know? Give it an absolutely foul tug!
I'm really profoundly sorry, Raglan. You must forgive me.
No, though.
What a fun.
That's right. What you used to do to me at school anyway. So, guess I'm not too strong then after all.
That's all right. You come back to the mother heart. I think he's a beast.
No, Leila. Only a desperate criminal. You must forgive me, really.
All right, I'll forgive you. There was room in her heart, even for the lowest of God's creatures. A criminal and an outcast.
How fearfully interested in crime we all seem tonight. Why poor Brendan can't be allowed to commit his own murders in quiet, I don't know.
Ah, but I'm sleuth. I'm professionally interested, you see.
Pearl White.
That's right, Pearl White. Besides, it's a simple question of bringing assassins to justice.
Oh, how would you do that?
Why, by having them arrested, of course.
Ah, would that do it? I have heard of assassins being brought to the Old Bailey, but I have seldom heard of them being brought to justice. I hope not confusing the two.
Well, what's wrong with the Old Bailey anyway?
My dear, its blemish is single but ineradicable. It is human. Justice is not.
Hear, hear.
I say, are you one of those people who don't approve of capital punishment?
I think, possibly, I approve too much of murder to approve of capital punishment.
Approve of murder?
Yes, my dears. There are so many people out there that I would so willingly murder, particularly the members of my own family, including the aunt so felicitously described by Mr. Raglan as living in Bayswater, that it would be positively disingenuous to say that I don't approve of murder. Furthermore, I have already committed murder myself.
How do you get that?
It is all simply a question of scale. You, my friends, have paradoxically a horror of murder on a small scale, a veneration for it on a large. That's the difference between what we call murder and war. Let's say, one gentleman murders another in a back alleyway in London for, let us say, since you have suggested, the got fillings in his teeth. And society shrieks out for revenge upon the miscreant. They call that murder. But when the entire youth and manhood of the whole nation rises up to slaughter the entire youth and manhood of another, not even for the gold fillings in each other's teeth, then society condones and applauds the outrage and calls it war. How then can I say that I don't approve of murder, since I have, in the last great war, acted on these assumptions myself? A lamentable thing, certainly, and responsible for the fact that night, instead of being able to fool around the gramophone with you two, a thing I should very much like to have done, I have to hobble about like an old man, on one leg. But the thing is, I have proved that I don't disapprove of murder, haven't I?
No, you've done nothing of the sort. You'd be the first to be horrified by murder if it happened under your own nose.
I wonder.
Besides, you must have some moral standards.
Must I? I can't recall any.
Don't be absurd. You wouldn't hurt a fly.
Wouldn't I? I've heard thousands in my time.
Well, anyway,
perhaps- Do go on.
No, do go on.
Okay,
I was nearly about...
Do go on.
Do go on.
Shall we
All I was
decide?
going
Yes.
to say was that I call this a jolly good parcel.
Excellent.
Well, no, what were you going to say?
I have really no idea. What are your own moral standards then, Leila?
Mine.
Leila believes in the 10 commandments, doesn't she?
Oh no, surely not.
Why? What's wrong with the Ten Commandments?
My dear, I honestly think they were of the profoundest significance to the nomadic needs of the tribe to whom they were delivered. Their inadequacy and irrelevance for today must be sufficient to condemn them. I have often attempted to discover whether it is within the range of any of us to observe even one of them. Honor my father and mother. Of course I do. How could I do otherwise? Indeed, on the occasion of my birthday, I have never failed to send them a telegram of congratulation. Though whether this will make my days any longer in the land which has been given us must remain in doubt. But look at the others. People eat the Sabbath day. I don't. Take not the name of the Lord in vain. I do. Thou shalt do no murder. But I have done murder, as I've explained.
And the 7th, Rupert?
Committed since infancy. Thou shalt not steal. The property itself, as Proudhon has explained to us, is theft. And I am a man of property. On top of that, these are your matches. In fact, the only stricture I'm sinfully capable of adhering to is the little stricture concerning my neighbour's ox and my neighbour's ass. Few and far between us are my neighbours who own oxes, and fewer and farther between us are my neighbours who own asses. I honestly think I could face either time in an emergency with a pure heart. Then it would be different if I lived in a rural district.
Well, anyway, I still say you'd never commit a murder. Your conscience wouldn't let you.
But how are your conscience?
Yes, I completely understand. That's quite right. For one who doesn't have a conscience, I can understand that murder being an entire engrossing adventure.
You mean a motiveless murder?
Yes.
Oh, yes, that does happen sometimes, doesn't it? You do get people who kind of murder just for the fun of it.
What a peculiar idea of fun.
No, but I've heard of cases like that before.
I have too, and I for one can certainly enter into the excitement of it. But the only trouble about that sort of thing is that you are bound to be found out.
Why should it be bound to be found out?
Because, dear Brendan, in that case, that sort of murder would not be a motiveless murder at all. It would have a quite clear motive. A vanity. It would be a murder of vanity. And because of that, the criminal will be quite unable to keep from talking about it. He won't hide it up. He's got to show it off in some fantastic way or another. That's why it may even be something only just slightly outré that he says. That gives him away. They have always done it, and they always will.
Well, but then, suppose you murder. Your ideal, brilliant, and clever and competent murder. I'm talking about a genocide. Suppose that he was alive, the fact that vanity was the Achilles heels of the thing, and that he went all his way around to not be seen like that. I'm talking about a genocide.
Then, he would be unable to keep from talking about the very fact that he was so brilliantly clever, as you say.
Yes.
So he keeps himself away just the same.
But he might be so clever.
Might. But wouldn't. Don't you think so?
I'm getting sick of that weather.
Yeah, so am I. I say, I think it's really about time I ought to be going.
Oh, yes, same here, really.
What an uncanny coincidence. You'll both be able to go together.
Isn't it absolutely dreadful?
Oh, but it's not raining anymore. If you are thinking about getting off.
No, that's what I thought.
Yeah, same here, really.
Which is another uncanny coincidence.
Just shut up.
Sorry.
Oh. Hello? Hello? Mayfair, X143? Hello, hello? Hello? Oh, there's a thunder in here. I can hear you. Hello? Who? Who, what? Who? Oh, right. Hang on a minute. I'll go and get him. Sir Johnston? Well, Sir Johnston, I think. Well, the telephone is off. Just waiting for you.
Hello? 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 No one here. Oh, hello? Yes? Oh, yes, that's you, dear? Oh, yes? Yes? No, he's not here. Yes, that's right. Yes, that's quite correct. Quite right, dear. What? Oh, no. He'll be back soon, I expect. Probably end up in the... What? Oh, yes, dear.
What I wanted to know.
Oh, well, I'll be back there soon now. I'll be coming pretty well straight away. What? Oh, yes, right you are, yes. Well, goodbye. Ronald hasn't come back.
Hasn't come back.
No.
Oh, that's the song.
Yes, that's what it must be.
Didn't you say he'd been to the Colosseum?
That's right.
I'm disliking the telephone tonight.
Was he expected back then, sir?
Yes, apparently he arranged to get back to tea.
Alice gets so alarmed if there's any hitch.
Well, we must be off. Where did we leave our hats and coats?
Oh, I'll go and get them.
Well, we got your parcel already.
Ah, thank you very much, dear. That is sweet of you. Oh, and that's a wonderful parcel, isn't it?
Well, it's not bad, is it?
I should say not, my dear. Yes, that's very convenient.
Right you are, Sir Johnson. Let me help you.
Quite.
And it's not raining anymore. I expect you'd like to have a taxi, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would rather like a taxi. I'd rather like to get back. I can't think where that boy has got to. Thank you. I've never known him fail when he said he'd be back.
He must be very filial, sir.
Yes, he is. Well, it only remains to thank you for the most charming evening, to say nothing of the most charming company. The company being even more delightful than the books, and that's saying an enormous amount. Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Mr. Cadell.
Good night, Sir Johnstone.
And I have to give you something in exchange for these books, you know.
Not at all, sir.
Oh, yes, you must have something back. Yes, you must have some swaps, as they used to say. You must have your swaps.
Oh, now, sir, you're forgetting them.
Yes. Thank you. That won't do. Just like me, just like me. I'm getting on, you know. I'm getting old. That's my trouble.
Well, good night all.
Good night. Well, I'm going to.
Same here, really. What bar do you have to go to?
I'm South Kensington-ish.
Oh, well, we'll get a taxi, shall we? And I'll drop you.
Which part of the city do you live in, Mr. Ragnar?
Me? Oh, well, I live up at Hampstead.
I see. It'll be quite easy to drop her.
I wish you'd drop your sarcastic remarks.
I crave your pardon. See, I'm always suspecting love's young dream when it's non-existent.
Well,
I think we'll be going now.
won't you stay and have another spot?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Thanks awfully. I really think we ought to be going.
Yes, really.
Well,
if you're still going up tonight, I certainly wouldn't let him drive.
whoa.
What do you mean?
You must be sure. Don't worry, I will never let him drive. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Grano.
He certainly ought.
What do you mean?
Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Brunello.
Good night, Rupert.
Well, all's well.
God, I thought he got onto it.
Who? Rupert?
Yes.
So did I, for a moment. But that what gave piquancy to the evening. He hadn't.
You sure he hadn't?
Quite well. I sometimes rather wish that he had. God, Rupert! What a queer lad! You know, if he had been with us, he would not be drunk like that, Grano.
I'm not drunk. Just a little blur, that's all. Hello, what's that?
Be yourself, Grano. What?
I thought I heard something.
Be yourself, Grano.
I thought it was the bear. It was!
Well, what of it? I'll go and see it. It's Rupert. He has left his cigarette case behind. Have you seen it? It must be somewhere.
No.
Well, must be somewhere. I don't know. He has left his cigarette case behind. Have you seen now?
No.
I said see. Oh, hello. You come up?
Yes. I just thought that you might give me another spot.
You're not seeing me, I'm wearing all black.
You're very welcome, Rupert.
And
Why?
beg your pardon.
Oh, why? Oh, you ass. Would you like to have another spot, Rupert?
Yes, just a splash, a generous one.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, what's with all this light?
What's wrong with the light?
Nothing's wrong with the light, Brunello. Only I am a creature of half-lights, and seeing that you have a very pleasantly shaded little table lamp, can't we make use of it?
Well, he's quite right. We have to use it. But, my dear, I hope you're not going to settle down too heavily and make yourself too comfortable, because we have to go before long, and Gwen and I have a lot of things to do.
This is better. Much, much better. I'm sad tonight, you know. What's the time?
Oh, it's 5 to 20 to 11.
5 and 20 to 11. I expect you wanting to get rid of me, aren't you?
Not at all, Rupert.
20 to 11. It's a curious hour. Don't you think?
Well, yes. Why so curious?
I don't know. Makes me kind of in a queer mood tonight, or an inspired mood. Maybe it's the thunder, you know, or one thing and another. Thunder always upsets me. Besides, I'm always melancholy at this hour.
Why are you so melancholic?
5 and 20 to 11. It's a curious hour. Did you ever read Goldsmith's Night Piece?
No, I can actually recall it.
No, you should. It's about the city at night. I shall do his night piece up to date one of these days, and I shall make it 5 and 20 to 11. Now, the curious hour. I'm particularly susceptible to it. Kind of a wonderful hour, you know.
Why so wonderful?
Because it is, I think, the hour when London asks why, when it wants to know what it's all about, when the tedium of activity and the folly of pleasure are equally transparent. It is the hour in which unemployed servant girls and the spoiled beauties of the slums walk the streets for hire. It is the hour of Winkin advertisement signs and taxis and buses and traffic blocks. It is the hour in which jaded London theatre audiences are settling down in the darkness for the last acts of plays, of which they know the denouement only too well. They know that, with the curtains down, it will all be a question of God save the King, and they will be bundled out into a chilly and possibly rainy night, where they will have to fight for taxis or rush for trains, or somehow transport themselves home to a cold supper and the prospect of another day tomorrow exactly similar to that which has passed. For others, further horrors are waiting. The nightclubs and cabarets have not yet begun, but they will do so very soon. I could enlarge upon the idea indefinitely. 5 and 20 to 11. A horrible hour, a macabre hour. For it is not only the hour of pleasure ended, it is the hour in which pleasure itself has been found wanting. There, that is what this hour means to me. And it has, moreover, been thundering. 5 and 20 to 11.
Yes, Rupert. But by the time you finish off your speech, it will be 11 o'clock. In brief, my dear Rupert, you don't see any earthly object in living?
I fear not, do you?
Yes, I do. But then I get interested in things. Why don't we get interested in things? Why don't we take up exploring or cricket or golf or making love or finances or something?
Or as you suggested this evening, murder.
Or, as you say, murder. Now, Rupert, I don't want you to turn you out.
Oh, surely you're not going to do that. Surely you're not going to spoil my mood.
Oh, no, that's all, Rupert. I'm not going to spoil any of your moods. But we have got to do some of preparation to leave.
You really mustn't spoil my mood. I shall write something tonight if I go on like this. You can't be so cruel. Can I have another drink?
Certainly, Rupert. I guess only a poetic frame of mind will be hardly in use of me and Grano filling suitcases.
Oh, I certainly think it would. Can't I stay and watch you?
You know, Rupert, I think you are in a queer mood too tonight.
No, not a queer mood. An inspired mood, rather. One has inspirations, you know? Extraordinary inspirations. And I have one tonight.
What's that?
Ha! I'll tell you that, perhaps.
It's past the quarter though, you know. I don't feel like driving after all. It's a bit late.
Yes, there is something in the air tonight.
That's enough of that, Grano.
It's not your business.
That's enough, Grano. Stop it.
It's not your business.
Steady and see yourself, Rupert. Well, that's enough. You finish up like this, and we'll see how you feel about it. You need to stop it. Well, I don't feel like we're going to go in anywhere with Grano stays.
You're in a horrible state tonight. You're positively silent drunk.
I'm perfectly sober. Why does he want to stay and see yourself? Well, that's what I want to know. Why does he want to stay and see yourself?
Grano, Rupert has no earthly reason in wanting to stay to see yourself. And I don't know what you're talking about. I'm starting to get sick of this. I mean, you know what? Finish that up and you leave him with me.
Oh, I've got to go then.
What do you mean you've got to go?
Oh, no, nothing. I just thought for a moment that perhaps you wanted me to go as well.
No, not at all. I was just getting sick of that silly chatter. I don't want you to go.
You don't?
Not at all.
All right then, I'll stay. Can I have another drink?
I said so.
You're on a queer mood too tonight, Rupert.
I'll have some whiskey, please. Thank you. I want to think of a pin, Grano, have you?
A what?
A pin. There should be one somewhere.
There you go.
Oh, thanks. How is it going?
It's better now.
Well. And so to bed.
Oh, thank you very much, Rupert, for coming around and all of this.
No, the pleasure is mine altogether. Believe me. It's been a very interesting evening.
Hello? What's your buttonhole? He's got it! Hold your tongue! He's got it! Hold your tongue! Hold your tongue! He's got it! Hold your tongue! He's got it! Hold your roll! Hold your roll! Hold your roll! He's got it! Rip it! Oh God! He's got it! Grandma and I have some troubles that concern no one else but us. Would you kindly oblige and leave him with me?
Won't you tell me your trouble, Brendan? I might be able to help.
No, Grandma. No, Rupert, I will not tell you our trouble. This has nothing to do with you. Would you please leave?
It may not be anything to do with me, but it may be something to do with the public in general. And I am its only representative in the room. Won't you tell me?
Are you going or are you not?
No, Brendan. I'm not going. You see, I'm rather awkwardly situated.
You are something more than that, my friend.
How's that?
You are very dangerously situated. Very dangerously situated indeed.
Brendan, I am lame and I have no protection.
You have not.
Save that of my foresight.
Your foresight?
But this is a compensation as well as an encumbrance. Besides, I have here a little weapon that may be of even greater value to me.
What's that?
This? A whistle. The policeman gave it to me.
When did he give you that?
He gave it to me 20 minutes ago. Just before I came back to my cigarette case. He's now waiting for me to use it. He's waiting at the corner. And it depends upon you whether I shall use it or not.
Now, Rupert. What do you want from me?
I want two things. Two truths. I want the truth about this ticket here, and I want the truth about that chest there, or rather its contents.
I can satisfy you on both. As for the ticket, I don't know whatever about it. As for the chest, I simply don't understand what you mean.
You have succeeded in satisfying me on neither.
What's all about? What's all this muddling suspiciousness?
This isn't maudlin suspiciousness, Brendan. From the very first moment when I telephoned this house at 9:15 and heard your friend there crying for the dog, the suspicion was there. It has been growing ever since.
Growing ever since? Growing ever since? What are you talking about? What do you suspect?
I suspect murder, Brendan. The murder of Ronald Kentley.
Murder of Ronald Kentley? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about murder, Brendan.
You suspect us of what?
Murder.
Oh, good Lord, Rupert, poor Rupert. I thought for a moment that you got on the real truth, which would have been devilish awkward. You suspect us of murder? Oh, isn't that too rich, Rupert? Oh my... Hear that, Renaud? He suspects us of murder!
Is it possible that you are trying to bluff me?
Bluff you? You drunken sotten maniac! Bluff you! Come on, get on up there! Blow your whistle and bring your policeman! Get him out! Do whatever you like!
Perhaps I am insane then. But since you say I can do whatever I like, may I look inside the chest?
You can see the inside of that chest. You can see the inside of 50,000 chests! Get him out! Blow your whistle!
I did not ask to see the inside of 50,000 chests, Brandon, but to see the inside of that specific chest. And I cannot do that if I have to get on out.
Are you mad?
Possibly. Nevertheless, may I look inside the chest?
Yes!
Very well. I will.
What are you waiting for?
You're very clever, Brandon, in any case.
I wish I could say the same of you, you fantastic ass.
Will you get farther away, please? Will you go back to that chair? Oh. It's locked, padlocked.
Well, what of it?
Where is the key?
I don't know. Why should I know? It's upstairs, I think.
Upstairs.
Shall I go and get it?
No! Don't do this. I can force it. Must I do this?
Here's your key, here's your key! Now, see the inside of that chest and see what's coming to you.
Will you go back to that chair, please?
You'll be sorry, Cadel, if you see the inside of that chest. You will be sorry!
I'll take the risk. Oh, you swine! You swine! Oh, you dirty swine!
Listen, Rupert. Listen, for God's sake, sit down.
Poor Ronald Kentley, what have he done to you?
For God's sake, sit down. Sit down. Sit down, for God's sake, Rupert. Sit down.
Sit down, Brendan, what do you mean?
For God's sake, Rupert. Sit down. Sit down. I can explain.
Explain!
Rupert, for heaven's sake, sit down. Sit down. I am at your mercy. Have mercy on me. Sit down. For God's sake, sit down. Sit down. And judge me. Sit down. And judge me. Sit down. And judge me.
Well.
Listen, Rupert. You are an enlightened man, aren't you?
I profess to be, yes.
And it is in your power to have me hanged.
So it seems.
And Granilla too.
Granilla too?
Rupert. Do you remember our conversation about the Old Bailey and justice?
Yes, quite well.
And the difference between the two? You made a point.
Yes.
Right. Listen, Rupert. You wouldn't give us up to justice. Now listen, Rupert. I want to ask you something else. You are not a man of morals, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay. And, you know, I and Grano have done this. We have done this for danger, for adventure. We have done this for danger and adventure, that's all. You read Nietzsche, don't you?
Yes.
Right. You know that he tells us to live dangerously.
Yes.
And you know that he has no more value for human lives than you. And he tells us to live dangerously. We thought we would do so. We have done so. That's all. We have done the thing. All the people who have talked, we have done it. Do you understand?
Go on.
Listen, Rupert. Listen. I think you are the one man to understand this. And even if you cannot see how we look at it, you will see that you can't give us up. You will see that you can't, right? 2 lives can recall one. It would be a triple murder. Now listen, Rupert, listen. Apart from that, quite apart, our lives are in your hands. I give them into your hands, man. If you have us up now, you'll be killing us as if you were to run us through with that sword in your hand. You're not a murderer, Rupert.
What are you?
We aren't. We aren't. I'm telling you we aren't. For God's sake, Rupert, tell me that you are an emancipated man. In the times of the Borgias, you will have thought nothing of this. Tell me that you are not a slave of your period, Rupert. For God's sake, you can't give us up. You can't. You can't. You can't give us up. Can you?
Yes, I know. There is every truth in what you've said. This is a very queer, dark, and incomprehensible universe. I understand it little. I myself have always tried to apply pure logic to it, and the application of logic can lead us into strange passes. has done so in this case. You have brought my own words up to my face, and a man should stand by his own words. I shall never trust in logic again. You said that I hold life cheap. That's right, I do. Your own included.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? What do I mean? I mean that you have taken and killed by strangulation a very harmless and helpless fellow creature of 20 years. I mean that in that chest there now lie the staring and futile remains of something that 4 hours ago lived and laughed and ran. Laughed as you could never laugh, and ran as you could never run. I mean that for your cruel and scheming pleasure, you have committed a sin and a blasphemy against the very lives that you now find yourself so precious. You have done more than that, my friend. You have not only killed him, you have rotted the lives of all those to whom he was dear. You have brought worse than death to his father, an equally harmless old man who has fought his way quietly through to a peaceful end, and to whom the whole universe, after this, will now be blurred and distorted beyond the limits of thought. That's what you have done. And in dragging him round here tonight, you have played a lewd and infamous jest upon him, and a bad jest at that. Now if you think, as your type of philosopher generally does, that life is nothing but a bad jest, you will now have the pleasure of seeing it played upon yourselves.
What are you saying? What are you doing?
It is not what I am doing, Brenton. It is what society is going to do. And what will happen to you in the end of society is not something I can try to do. It's its own business, you know? Though I can give you a pretty shrewd guess, I think. You're going to hang, you swine! Hang! Both of you, hang!